was the only time that the radiators and
theme song.
Vic.
Where are you at, Diane?
Brian, how are you?
How's everybody doing?
Oh, what's going on, Jen?
There he is.
Bye, Ashley, welcome. Hey, how you doing, Ari? Jordan, how are you doing? Hey.
What up, Mike?
I gotta say.
Hi, guys.
Hi, fellas.
Hey, Harley, how's it going? Brian, how's it going? What's up, Pete? Hey, what's up, Tom?
Hey,
Love
Tom.
that picture. Hey, Chip.
I want to start with like
Yay!
Does that work?
Camera, welcome to the live show. Hey, Benji, love your mask. Hey, Lauren.
My man, how you doing?
Congratulations. What's up, David? Hey, guys.
intro. That was awesome.
RJ, welcome to the lot.
I had to smoke a lot of weed to get this hat, you guys.
You killed it. Welcome back to the last time. Welcome back to the damn lot. But
Damn lot.
I think I got to put down the fears right at the top. We will have future lots. They'll just be actual lots at actual fish shows, raging our asses off.
well, followed by actual real fish shows instead of
Right.
replayed fish shows.
It'll
New
be
live fish
awesome.
shows.
I can't
It'll be
wait.
great.
I'm so
Can't
pumped.
wait.
Holy shit, am I pumped? What's up, fam?
What's up, guys? Wow.
I want to put it down. I want to put it down that it's still awesome to have Fam back on at the top. Yes.
I love it. You know what's cool
yeah.
about it too, for like my nostalgic bubbles. I don't know what I'm saying about the bubbles, but I am wearing the same hat and shirt, and Mike and Fam is wearing the same hat, shirt, and Mike as the very, very first episode. And Kev pointed this out to me today, or sent me the clip. The very first time we were live on this channel was an absolute fucking train wreck, and just to make the rest of the show seem more tolerable and like we really got our shit together, I want to play the very first clip we played live on this channel just to see how far we've come.
Let's go.
I need to switch accounts real quick.
All right, go.
Keep in mind, this is live. This isn't like footage from the green room. This is pulled directly off YouTube. All right, I'm going to play it again. Sorry.
I need to switch accounts real quick.
All right, go. Bye. We'll wait.
No, we're live.
Oh shit, we're
Yeah, it's
live.
off and on. You can switch accounts.
Without
You
a
know,
net.
my shit's gonna freeze up at some point. So
That's nonsense. Oh, I gotta let Matt in.
Fucking.
Just so you know, I'm drinking Manhattan, but because we're on lot, I'm drinking them out of a Brooklyn coffee cup.
Hey, for the lot, I went red solo cup. So
I think
Is that in memory of the Arkansas show?
that Arkansas show, that's never gonna happen.
it's never gonna happen.
Never gonna happen. Dude, Kev, you've come a long way since the floor. I gotta say.
Yes, I have. You know, I was only on the floor for the first episode, which blew my mind because I felt like I was on the floor for a long
Floor
time.
forever. And I gotta say, the one that's improved the most though is Tim. I mean, he's moved a house. He's got a whole new setup behind him. Like that's a completely new going on there.
Yeah, first
Talk
episode
about
I was like in
upgrade.
my kitchen in a one bedroom townhome, and now it's like, hey, I actually have space for this.
That's it. I
Yeah,
know.
it's like nice and like nostalgic to remember that, but it's also extremely awkward and painful to watch that. Like I don't know how we even agreed to do a second show, let alone got through that show.
Got people on to keep coming on the show is even bigger. Like I could see us keep doing it, but to actually have people come on and want to be a part of
I'm
it.
like, I want to be
And
on that show. That's the show I want to be on.
Yeah,
or
would you
watch.
The guests were always the key, right? I mean, they would come on and kind of save us in some ways, right? From
we used
from
to
ourselves.
like count down the seconds until the guests would come on and be like, holy shit, we got to vamp for 5 more minutes. Like, and we did 3-hour episodes for the first 20 lots.
Do that. That was another. They were marathons, no doubt, and we were
Well, I
obviously
remember the
complete
meeting.
noobs, except for Chad. I mean, Chad was trying to just drag us along,
Pull
Come
us
on,
up.
fellas. What's
I remember the
happening?
meeting we had to discuss how long we wanted it to be, and when Tim said that, well, it started at 2:30 or whatever, and I was like, "What? Do you know how many hours?" He's like, "Well, yeah, but it's like being on the lot. You go to the show early and walk around." Like I was like, "Well, you put it like that, it makes sense, but 2.5 hours, 3 hours on air, like chatting, is a long time."
And Makita was there the whole fucking time.
Yeah, Makita
man.
was
God.
day
I didn't
one.
miss a second of it.
As loyal as they come, man.
Holy shit. No, it's cool. I mean, we had really good guests. We had Andy Michaels was our first guest, and Diana and the Vic and Lawn Memo and Amar.
Amar, yeah. Wasn't that the meat stick night, or was that another night?
No, that was
second night?
with Andy from Runaway Gin.
Right, that was the second or third week we got the meat stick.
Dude, that was so much
Just
fun.
all-star after all-star that agreed to come on, and can you believe it? And we were just always so humbled, I know, and I'm so humbled to be back with you guys. And again, it feels like home. Is Chad doing the meat stick? Is this he got the meat stick going in his head? He's killing it, by the way. Look at him.
Dave, that's why we had finale after finale. It's because people have better shit to do now.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to end everything. Go back to your life.
Yeah.
Marvel's back in the movie theaters next week. We better get the fuck out of the entertainment business.
Loves the meat stick. And yes, right. We did have a captive audience, and at a perfect time for this scenario. So yes, but man, what a blessing! And like you said, there's some folks were down from day one.
Yeah,
the captive audience was key. The captive audience.
I mean, there was a lot of stupid shit to watch, though. It was just our stupid shit that some people chose to pay attention to. There's a lot.
My favorite stupid shit that we did early on is that when Lam and I came up with the baseball card bit, and we annoyed the hell out of you, Tim. Like we committed to this baseball card bit.
I feel like the extent of Wook Plus has basically been a long troll.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Tim, Llama, what do you got? What do you got?
Oh, I got a brand new pack of baseball cards for the last
do you?
episode.
An unboxing.
How interesting.
Yeah.
How interesting that you got a brand new
I got
pack of
Sam
baseball
Balloon.
cards.
I got
Nice.
Sam Balloon.
Did you guys not tell T about this? Because he would have definitely told me and been like, you know what those assholes are up to?
Oh, I have
Sports,
I wasn't going to do it to you.
This is a symbolic opening of a new chapter in our life.
There you go. Great, great answer. Llama.
That is part of the drinking game tonight. If Kev cries or tears up or gets emotional anyway, we're gonna have a social drink.
Yes.
Perfect.
So I guess we should touch
hold on.
base. Oh,
Llama, what do you got?
Who is it?
Francisco Lindor. I'm just going to go
almost
through
made
the-
it.
You got a Lindor.
A
You
plus
got a
already.
Lindor. Nice.
I don't know that guy.
Albert Pujols
What?
with the
Oh, I
Angels.
know Pool House.
Pujols is still in the league. Hey, by the
Yeah,
way,
he plays for
Pujols
the
comes.
Dodgers now.
He comes from my
God.
neck of the woods, Fort Osage High School in Independence, Missouri. By the way, shout out.
Independence
Nice,
is very
nice.
Wink, flag.
Baseball,
I-town baby
universal
till I
connector.
die. Pujols, man, that dude.
Pool House rocks. Just so you know. When
The
Jeffrey-
first Yankees fan that wants an Aaron Judge card, send me your address. I'll mail it to you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Lope, I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah. But that's actually how someone from Maryland pronounces that, actually. So I don't think it was on purpose. It wasn't like a joke, Lope. I think that was
No, that's how he worships his
He
work.
worships
He worships it.
Washes his hand.
He worships the Blue House.
We love you, Maryland, and Kev. Please, no Maryland. Hey, it's a great state.
It is.
One of the best. One of the top 50. One of the top 50.
Yeah,
leagues.
top 50. Definitely top 50.
Are we done with the cards?
Nope.
Yes. See,
Mr.
seal.
October says,
Oh,
I must
yeah.
kill the queen. I must kill the queen. That's seriously, I remember Reggie more from Naked Gun than I do from his actual baseball
Enrico
career.
Palazzo.
Yes.
Do you remember the Reggie bar? He had his own candy bar at one time.
Oh, I imagine he was a really smart at.
I mean, yeah, he had a whole month. Kev, he was Mr. October. I mean, of course he had a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like it was like
I
one
had
of those
this really
turtles.
crazy question just pop into my head, guys.
No way.
Thank you, Llama. You're gonna save
Yes.
it. You brought us here. You'll get us out.
I will get us out. I just wanted to do a quick roundtable because Wook loves them about what your favorite DAAM show was.
Ooh, love it. We were talking about this a little bit on. It was
I'll go first.
Little chat yesterday thought we kind of brought this up.
Oh,
I want to go first because I always go last and sneak out. I usually get away with not doing the around the horns, but I figure since it's the last one, I'll just take it by the horns. I really enjoyed the New Year's Eve because I was the first time I got to see my family in like a year. I went to visit them, and it was just my brother and I. Everybody went to sleep, so he's the first guy I went to a fish show with and have gone to most of my shows with. And on New Year's Eve, watching the chess game DAAM with him in his backyard felt like, a dose of reality, in a crazy time. So out of all the DAAMs, that's the one I'm probably remember the most. And also that was the lot that I had no service because I was in the middle of nowhere. So you guys pretty much did all the work, and that was dope too. Sorry, RJ.
and Grandmaster was there. RJ and the Grandmaster.
First time we met, or I met Katie. You guys might have met her before. Yeah,
it's incredible. Who's next?
She's taking over the world. Chad, you're next.
We're going around the horn.
My favorite. I think my favorite DAAM. I don't know. Okay, my favorite DAAM recipe was Paige's basic cheeseburger.
He didn't even put salt and pepper on that shit. What is going on?
That was funny.
It had troll vibes because he's a sandwich guy, right? So I think that was the troll. Maybe was like, let me do the worst and blandest sandwich possible.
It was like a wimpy burger from Popeyes.
Like yes, and I appreciated the bit so much. Like I was like, oh, okay, Paige gets it. That's good.
Did any of you guys do the recipes? By the way, I don't think I did a single one.
My kids happened to make a grilled cheese the night it was the grilled cheese. But
wait, him and Llama used to show up halfway through the lot. I'd be like, "What's up, Llama?" He's like, "I was cooking the recipe."
The first one he had a taco.
Eating tacos. Yeah, I always remember him eating tacos and showing up with tacos and eating.
That was. Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
I asked my buddy because he was watching the first show, and when you're all nervous and you've never done it before, like, "Hey, what'd you think? What is your favorite part? What'd you hate?" And all he said was, "I love the guy eating the tacos." That was it. That was his takeaway. He's like, it felt like I was on a real lot. There's a guy just staring at me while eating tacos.
Ben's just responded in the chat. I half-assed made one recipe, and I have to go with that too. Like I think I half-assed a couple. Like I was like, I definitely half-assed it.
You are a master of avoiding the question. I will give you that.
Okay, my favorite show was the first one that they played that I was actually at that I don't remember. Let's go. It was 97-ish.
Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Virginia Beach. Yeah, no, Virginia Beach was my favorite. Yeah.
Jeff.
I think
this is what I hate around the horn, by the way.
My favorite to watch was the Halloween one because it showed 3 different sets from 3 different Halloween. So it was cool. You got to see a cross section of 3.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good.
I'm contractually obligated to answer 72503, the first 2.0 DAAM and only actually 2.0 DAAM. It was a glorious day. Honestly, the announcement day was better than the show, even though the show was incredible. The announcement day felt like I'd won the Super Bowl. Just amazing. And the show was incredible. So 2.0 DAAM for me.
That's funny, fam. That's like, I was just saying that to Lope with the Canadians getting into the Stanley Cup. I was like, enjoy the moment before the finals actually start, because it's the moments before the game actually begins and the series starts, that elation of making it to the finals. That's what it's like. That anticipation, that feeling of being there is great. Like you're in the dance. You haven't danced yet, or you haven't lost the dance yet. You're just there.
Exactly. There's no nerves. It's just joy.
Great, but yeah, just that moment.
Go Habs, go for Lope. By the way, go Habs, go.
I've become
a
quick.
I become a Habs fan, sorry, Trav, and they have immediately started sucking. They blew it in the first game, so I'm not sure I'm helping Lope at all. But go ahead, Trav.
Start rooting for the Lightning then. There you go.
Exactly.
Switch teams real quick.
Yeah.
I have 3. Kevin stole one of mine because the Halloween shows were great because all 3 of them were fantastic. The Dick Spectacular was great because, again, it was a cross-section.
Big Dick Spectacular.
That was fun, and our whole thing that weekend was fun. What we did, and then the shows were fantastic. But I'll go with the 10/28/16 Golden Age show. Was probably my favorite, just because.
Oh, you're just sucking up to fam now. You're just sucking up to
But
fam.
it's so good. He was there.
It's so good, and it was one of the ones I was at. I think I was at 3 or 4 of these, but that was my favorite one because it was fun to rewatch it and really get to see it again. That was fun.
All right, Lama, what do you got? We got a guest coming in, so.
I like Dick's Extravaganza. That was a good one. I like that show.
Big Dick Extravaganza.
Big dicks.
All right, fam, do you want
this year?
We didn't pre-record an intro like we used to do, but I figured Joey, and you were our announcer back in the day. So do you want to introduce the next guest?
Velvet Fog, come on.
All right, here we go. All right, so who's on there? Kate? Is it Kate and Joey?
It looks like it's just Joey right now.
Oh, wait, we just lost him.
Just lost him.
Like I said,
hopefully, yeah.
He heard me. He was like, "No."
Yeah, I don't.
Another round the horn.
That one time the Radiators played with Fish on the same bill. That was fucking hot.
There it is. He got it in. He got it in before the first.
Where's the Home Alone, Mom?
Who lost that bet?
Where's the Home Alone?
No,
Mom?
no. This is.
She lived on live.
Yeah,
this is the Evie Kevin.
Oh, gotcha. It's Evie Kevin style. Okay.
Those are on the live format, though. We don't actually have them available on the lat.
That's right. Oh, someone's back. I see.
It's over in Studio A. We're in Studio B.
Yeah, we're at the other studio.
Why don't we, when they pop in, because Joey just said he's trying to reload. I know some other, hopefully they're coming in.
There. So,
awesome. Well, let him in, maybe let him in, and I can go from there.
Hey, before you let him in, where can we donate to FRE tonight?
Oh my gosh. If you go, so again, FRE, Fans for Racial Equity, is the beneficiary for Dinner and the Movie. So you can go to Waterwheel, you can go to our website, you can go to our Tiltify. Oh my gosh, so many places actually now, which is so exciting. But without further ado, welcome to the lot. We have Kate and Joey from Fans for Racial Equity. Welcome.
I love your announcer voice.
I know. When he goes in announcer voice, it's great.
This is the best introduction I'll ever have in my life.
Bravo. Nice, Spam. Thank you. That was fantastic.
We need to get Fam more voiceover work. It's so good. Hey, guys. Welcome.
He works cheap, so,
The cheapest.
All right.
So I don't want to interrupt or cut off what you were saying about the donations. We should bring that up at least 2 or 3 times tonight. So you want to just say that one more time?
Let's do this. Let's turn it over to Kate and Joey because they are absolutely professionals. I am a free noob, and they have. I've been so humbled and honored to work with them. They are absolute pros. So let's turn it to them.
All right, perfect.
How are you guys, by the way? Good to see you.
We're good.
Doing great. Doing great. Can you all hear me? I'm in New Orleans, and New Orleans has like notoriously terrible internet. So hopefully I'll stay in the stream here.
Yeah, so far so good.
Greatest city in America, man.
Love it.
Right.
Love it.
Amen.
Oh, so you guys are all 3 of you actually. I know people didn't realize that Fam is one of our guests tonight too, not just an old Wook from the group. But so the 3 of you guys are all members of FRE. We all know what FRE is, and I think most people do. But maybe we should start with just kind of like the mission or the vision or like the what FRE is and what it's about and what it's doing. I guess we'll just start with what is FRE, and we'll go from there.
Great question. So FRE stands for Fans for Racial Equity, fans of the PH, of course. It's important that it's equity and not equality, and we can talk a little bit more about the difference there if we want later. But our mission is really to build an anti-racist live music scene and promote liberation through racial equity in our scene and in the world at large by activating the power of our community. The the fish community especially has, there's a lot of connections. There's a lot of community within here that a lot of good people that we can activate to help us do this work.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. I was just going to add,
Claudia.
We are an organization of all volunteers, and we have a lot of amazing folks. FAMR being a new amazing addition, and we're made up of fans. But as Kate was saying, we are our goal is to reach beyond just the fish scene. We definitely focus on the live music scene and jam bands specifically, but our goal is to have a reach beyond that, especially individual fans in their daily lives being able to bring what they've learned to that and have a wider kind of impact on the larger world.
That's awesome. So I'm assuming Claudia is also a member of PHRE and not just a hacker that got into our live stream.
She's both, actually, both a hacker and part of PHRE. She, that was actually what brought her to us. We were thinking, we need a hacker.
You had an excellent hacker to get into these live streams. Hi, Claudia. Welcome to the lot.
Hi, thanks. I was going to say, you can tell I'm not a hacker because I'm holding my cell phone sometimes with my hand covering my camera.
I see the disguise. It's a clever disguise, Claudia. Clever.
That was like a couple of weeks ago. Chad was scrolling on his phone, and it was like right in front of the camera.
I remember. Hey, this is the
Oh man, we're a high quality production here.
So
but...
I got a question. Are you guys strictly online, or are you going to be like on the lot this summer? Or are we going to be able to find you and
That's a great question. In the before times, we were on lot. We were gearing up our tabling organization. I think we tabled 4 shows in 2019, which was amazing. Maybe 5. I'm not remembering right now, but it was awesome. The tabling at Dick's, we've done 2 years now, and it is awesome because we get that spot right behind where you can still see everything and see the stage, and folks are stopping by, and it's awesome. We did a pre-show meetup, actually, with our friends at Osiris Media. Love them. So, yes, we will definitely be live in person at shows coming up. And if folks want to learn more, there is a section on our website for signing up for updates on our tabling and our meetups and all the other good in-person stuff we'll be doing.
Awesome.
Will you please join us at our table at Dick's?
Yeah.
Chad, we're not announcing that yet, buddy.
Oh, we're not?
Oh, I've already announced it. I'm telling anybody who'll listen, we're having a lounge, and you all should stop by.
Oh, jeez.
Absolutely.
We're going to try to find some furniture, like abandoned on the side of the road, and drag it to Dick's so we can have furniture set up for people.
All right, no, seriously, though, we should stop talking about our plans for Dick's. All right, so actually, it's funny you brought up the equity. Not funny, but interesting that you brought up the equity equality thing, because in the meetings planning for this, and last time we actually had Malcolm on one of the very first lots. I think it was like episode 2 or 3, and right from the beginning, that was a mistake that like anytime somebody said, somebody else would like correct them right away, and it felt like there was a lot of importance behind the wording. Obviously, respect of an organization's name in and of itself is important, but beyond that of just getting the name right, what is the key point of why it's equity and not equality?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll start. So treating everyone equally, that sounds really good, and in general it is, but it starts from a place that assuming that historically everyone has been given the same opportunity up to this point. And so when we use the term equity, we're really talking about looking at larger systems and historical oppression and bringing that to the conversation and bringing that to the education and the work that we're doing. Yes, we all want to be treated equally. We're not advocating for any kind of special treatment per se for any particular group, but it's also important to recognize the sort of structural inequities that a lot of folks face, including a lot of our fan base, that the rest of us may not have to deal with because we have lighter skin or because we have other advantages that we come to shows with. And so, so that's really a big part of where the equity comes in over just equality.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I'm sorry. Claudia, Joey, and Kate, do you all identify as white or do you identify differently?
I identify
Yeah, I
as
asked
white.
it.
Go ahead, Claudia.
So my father was born in South America, and he immigrated to the United States at age 18 to go to college when he met my mother. So I identify as 50% Caucasian because my mother has a long history of family in the United States, and then 50% Colombian American.
Okay.
Yeah. And similarly, my mother is white. And my dad, my grandfather, my father's father moved here from the Philippines. And so I'm 1/4 Filipino. And my dad's mother is Japanese, Mexican, Native American. So I'm also mixed race.
It's incredible. And I think coming from a teacher's perspective, you know, like we always kind of say that to kids at times, you know, what fair isn't always equal, right? And the concept of understanding that, yeah, equality is again a wonderful idea, but it's not where we're at because we haven't started from there, you know, and until we get to there, it can't be equal, right? In certain scenarios, in certain situations, because we have a long way to go to get to a point where we can even start from a framework of equality, you know? So I think I thank you for helping me with that, because I was having a conversation with a friend about this, and I honestly wasn't sure about that. So thank you for that explanation.
That's a really good point, Famer. And I actually shared with my day job where I'm in a working group for diversity, equity, and inclusion. There's an illustration that's gone viral that is like a father and two sons standing on boxes peeking over the fence. Like the original drawing was a baseball field.
Yeah.
And I love that drawing because I think sometimes systemic inequalities and inequity can be a complex sort of concept to grasp, but it's just showing how even though the boxes are equal, and in theory that's giving each of those three, you know, boys, men, equality, because one son's very small and the other's medium sized, they would never have the opportunity to see over that fence because of that structural barrier and due to their sort of inherent disadvantage of being shorter. So I think it's just a good way you can think of what it's like being a bit further back on the block, so to speak, in like racing terms. Some people just start farther behind due to things like redlining and other inequities built into
third base.
And then right. And honestly, for folks that like me and for we have to acknowledge and accept that we are starting from a position of privilege and advantage as well. Absolutely. And that's a huge part of it, Kev. You know, and I'm thank you for bringing that up as well. Thank you, Claudia. You know, like that's so important.
I told somebody around the election that I was a well-off white heterosexual middle-aged guy, that the system was rigged in my favor. I said, so my vote is going to be for everyone who isn't me.
There you go, buddy.
Well, and that brings up a good point too. I think a lot of people hear about inequity or like privilege, and they will come back with things. Sometimes people will come back with things like, I grew up, you know, without money, or, you know, my family was poor, so I didn't have advantages either. But I think that kind of negates the things that we know are true, that people of color experience, like inherent biases and also some of those structural things that are just baked in, that they never have the chance to even get to the point of, you know.
A poor white guy is better off than a poor person of color.
Well, it's interesting to me that a lot of people have trouble understanding how important it is in the systemic issues with race, when so many of us have had a smaller form, but a very potent form of the systems and the country being rigged against poor people in classes, right? Like there is an inherent systemic problem that puts 99% of us at a disadvantage. Now imagine having that plus the other disadvantages that you have no control over based on the way you were born before you even get to the other systemic issues that affect all of us, right? Like we should be compassionate and understanding because we're suffering from a lot of the same things at a lesser form, right? And so I don't know why it's so foreign for some people to not understand how we're like this global community, and that just because I have opportunity doesn't make me a bad person. I shouldn't ignore that, right? But I should acknowledge it and understand that not everybody has had that same opportunity. I don't know. It's like it's the resistance to it. I feel like this last year we've had a lot of good conversations as a country and as Wooks and everything. But then at the same time, the resistance makes me so confused and angry and frustrated. And I feel like the louder the good voices get, the louder the bad voices get. And I don't know. That's why I like Tim, you guys, because it helps clear it up for me.
But I don't want to speak for Claudia and Joey and Kate but what I know what I do want to say, and I've had a brief experience with it. I do think we're winning. Now we have to keep fighting and we have to keep going. But you get this experience now, and there is pushback, and there is folks who are very very trolly, very very anti this idea. But I'm going to tell you, the amount of folks on the positive side of this and supporting us and going, man, we support you 100%. We want to do everything we can to help is so overwhelming of that other part of it. But like it can't. What we can't do is go. We've made it. We've won. It is so
all
far
done.
from right. Because again, remember what we're here for, right, and what we're doing, and we've got so far to go. But it has been an incredible experience, and I know kind of talk about a little bit, guys, about this experience of being like now the dinner and a movie, and like what that's been like working with Fish. I know you guys have kind of a little bit on in and out of it, somewhat. We've all been in pieces of it, but like explain that a little bit. Like working with Fish, I guess. Sorry, just jump in there.
Yeah, I can start, and then Joey, maybe you can jump in. I think very early on when we when we started to look into tabling at shows, the Fish was very supportive. Waterwheel was very supportive, especially in helping us get set up and get going. So we've had a good relationship with them really from the get-go. And I think this was, the culmination of a really long relationship, some good mentorship. I want to shout out from the Waterwheel Foundation and helping us see that we should really go for incorporating as a 501c3. That costs money. It's a bit of a lift. It takes some time and a lot of people to make that happen. And Beth from Waterwheel really convinced us that it was worth going after, and we should do it. So yeah.
Thanks, Beth. That's awesome.
And I'd also add to that, like, I feel like it's been mutually beneficial, especially in the last year. I feel like there's been a big shift within the organization to really support a lot of kind of intersectional work and really support fan-based groups that have come up and are doing good work in the scene. Like Groove Safe was the last beneficiary last month.
We had Ashley on the lot. What was that, last time? Yeah,
Ashley was on the last lot. Yeah.
We're actually we I like how we ended the lot, by the way. We had like a lot of crazy party drug infused episodes, and then we kind of went more in the charity route. We had Groove Safe. I feel like it's more warming to have these guests on.
That's right. Good, Chad.
Chad's busting at the seams. He really has a question.
First of all, I want you guys to answer this. Is it better for us to donate tonight to Waterwheel or to you guys directly? Be honest.
It doesn't matter.
Good question.
So,
Yes.
all the funding that we're pushing right now, like we have like a little separate page that just allows us, like on a hosting site called Tiltify. It was actually recommended by Waterwheel, and the money goes to Waterwheel, and then they will make sure that it comes back to us. So it really doesn't matter. That, to be perfectly honest, it's nice to use Tiltify for us because we get to kind of track how much is being raised. Like we have no idea what's coming into Waterwheel until they let us know. But other than that, and maybe like being able to like, grab some people's emails to like hit them up in the future for like, hey, volunteer with us or donate again next time we raise money for some other group. Like either way is all good.
Well, you
Yeah,
guys.
I was gonna say, if you want to get involved and you don't want to do anything more than just make a donation tonight, you at minimum will get a thank you email from our organization to which you could reply and then continue to be involved without having to click a single other button. So kind of turnkey.
Yeah, and on top of that, you can go to at PHANFORRACEQ, Fans for Racial Equality. Just figure out the abbreviation. You'll get there.
You nailed it.
So what kind of things do people get involved do? Like people who want to get involved, what can they do? How can people get involved? So if I responded, because that's intriguing and I really dig what you guys do. So I reply to the thank you message like, hey guys, I want to get involved. What opportunities are there?
So good.
Who wants to take
You
this
should
one?
start picking people.
It's such a good question.
There are many. Do you want to start, Claudia?
Yeah, sure. I
Sorry.
can tell you an excellent way would be to attend one of our 2 upcoming general interest meetings. So you can absolutely find more information about those on the website, and you would hear an even more in-depth explanation of. We have various committees. So we have committees responsible for doing things like communications and outreach, organization of our broader functions, and then also education. So Joey in particular works on education, Kate's on comms and outreach. I'm heading up the org committee. We all have our own roles there. Another thing that would be excellent to do is go to our website and sign our jam band commitment statement. So we have, I don't even know how many signatures. I should, hundreds, I'm sure, if not thousands. And it's just a way to show support, not only within the fish scene, but across the community. So I think, to me, those are some things off the top of my head, but I'll pause because I'm sure others might have some ideas to share.
Yeah, Kate.
Yeah, the other big thing that we're still gearing up for, but you can totally sign up to get involved, is our campaign, which we're calling the More campaign. And that will be a team of folks working to connect with bands in the jam band community, but also venues, to work with them on how can we make venues more anti-racist and implement trainings for their staff, policies that are not discriminatory. When you think of things like how is the lot patrolled, and how, you know, that's a different experience for someone like Malcolm, who is a very tall Black man, and someone like myself. So working with venues to make sure they understand the implications and the inequities that are baked into that system, and that they can help them develop more equitable policies, and also work with your favorite bands, because kind of our theory of change is that the bands have leverage with these venues, and we can really make a change if we start with the venues. And ultimately, we'd love to then get, you know, the commercial power of the bands and the venues involved in making real policy changes in those communities, in terms of policing reform. We'll be donating to community-led organizations in those spaces for the work that they're doing on various issues that intersect with racial equity, like education, like housing, like criminal justice reform. So that's sort of going to be our big focus over the next year or so. So if you want to get in on that, work with your favorite bands, work with your favorite venues. That's a great way to get involved.
And I'll just add a couple more things. So for the folks that are like, you know, not ready to jump right in and get involved in like a campaign or something like that, we have more easy to enter kind of opportunities. We have what's called our Lizard Liberation Library, which is a book club where folks can read different selected, and as a group, we often decide together like what we want to read, but everybody reads together to do a lot of the self-education work, which is a really important part of.
There's a movie version too for you, Chad.
There is, yeah.
Well, I was going to ask.
For those that don't want to read the book.
Exactly.
Wait, Chad had a question? Nobody knew that Chad had a question. No,
I was going to ask if there is a movie version that I can drink coffee to.
Absolutely, buddy.
Yeah, so we'll be watching documentaries that focus on the history of Black music primarily, and then having, you know, opportunities for people to discuss and learn about that. We also have like a web video series coming out on the Black roots of Fish's music. So keep an eye out for that. And you know, we have things like, you know, bouncing around the Zoom dance parties and all kinds of different ways to engage in more fun kind of activities.
Yeah, it's not just all, so we have fun too. We blast. I love our educational committee meetings. We always talk about a jam and talk about fish. So it's not all nerd work. No.
I love you guys. This is awesome.
That was terrible. What's up,
I'm
Llama?
coming back in. I'm coming back in.
Wait, no, let Llama go.
Llama's bit.
All right, go ahead, Llama.
Llama, are you live?
I'm alive. I was on mute. Yeah, it's the last one. I don't have to worry about it.
35th lot. This is the 35th episode, and we've done 55 live broadcasts.
It happens.
Jesus.
No, my question is that we're talking about an anti-racist concert experience. Can you go over some examples that just a fan can do to ensure that sort of space? Like is that kind of where the beginning of it sort of is, right?
Good question, dude.
Yeah, that's a great question. Joey, you want to go?
I love how Kate stepped in to moderate. Thank you, Kate.
So, well, and we can go further in depth in this if folks want to join one of our lot trainings. We actually do like pre-show lot trainings with fan meetups to kind of talk about this and role play and talk about some of the common experiences of fans of color. But just to give like an example, if we do the self-education and maybe be a little more mindful, we're less likely to do something that's really common for fans of color, especially Black fans, which is go up to them and ask them where the bathroom is, or go up to them and ask them if this is their first show, because the assumption is, oh, you're not here for the music, or must be your first time. Who is your white friend that brought you here, just based on the predominantly white scene. So you could imagine that if that's happening to you at shows and you've been a fan since 1.0, that like that's really going to pull you out of your blissful moment, right? So those are some simple, mindful things that we may be doing that people don't even necessarily have a negative intent, but they just, we make assumptions based on, sort of what we see and what we think people's experience might be. So that's just one example, but really the self-education work is probably the first thing I would go to for somebody who's maybe new to it or wanting to figure out how to engage and be more of an ally to fans of color.
And as a follow-up, if you witness an encounter like something like that takes somebody out of their moment of bliss, is there anything you can do to try to bring them back in or to like make it seem a little more friendly again?
Yeah, that's a great.
Oh, sorry,
Go
Joey,
ahead.
go ahead. I was just thinking about that when Joey was talking. I think not only what he described, but to answer that question or think of a different way. I mean, I think certainly you can intervene and just, talk to the person you see get treated, maybe inappropriately or in an othering way, just like you would talk to any one of your own friends, and make sure they're having a good time, feel safe, whatever it is, like, hey man, let's go grab a beer or something like that. And I think similarly, if you see something that's maybe even, slightly more ratcheted up on the aggression scale, I would just like to encourage anyone, listening to this or anyone who hears our message, you don't have to be a member or like a constant volunteer of Fans for Racial Equity to speak up and say like, hey, we don't do that here. I myself have been seeing, my first Dead show was the last Dead show in the 90s. And that was something I always loved about the Dead, that sense of community and love and just like helping each other out. And, making negative comments to people based on appearance or just other things shouldn't be something that should happen in our community. And you should feel fully empowered to say, that's not how we talk to people here. Or like, what's going on, guy? Like, not cool, and oftentimes I think just to bring the offender back into reality like that and remind them of where we are and who we are, and that's not a way to treat people, can be enough to make someone back down. You'd be surprised how quickly that sort of deck of cards can kind of fall, or house of cards, I should say.
Right.
Yeah,
And
remind
it
people it's
also
not
has
cool to
the-
be like that.
Yeah, and it also has the effect of acknowledging that you saw what happened and acknowledging that their experience was valid. And the person, I think a lot of times you feel like nobody noticed if nobody says anything, and you just feel like your experience is invisible. So it validates their experience. And I love the phrase, I just learned that phrase, that's not how we do things here. Because it doesn't open up for discussion about why what you said was wrong or bad, or doesn't open up any room for debate. It's just, we don't do that here, period.
Well, and it feels super appropriate because my first show, it felt like the most, and it sounds so dumb, I think, maybe coming from a middle-aged white dude, but like it felt so inclusive, right? Like, because I never had it to that level, but like being the guy that wore like corduroy pants and a tie-dye and a hemp necklace to school, and like having like dead stickers on my truck, and like, right, like you were judged for the way you looked, and you went, and then everybody accepted you, and everybody's welcome, and it was this big party, and it breaks my heart to think that there's not fans that don't have that. And it's true, like it's a good turn of phrase, like we don't do that here, but it's also kind of damn true, right? Like that isn't what it shouldn't be what we're about. So I love that as a kind of a go-to line. I don't want to take away from this conversation because it's been absolutely brilliant, and you guys are very well versed and present yourselves super well with it all. But I am also really excited about The Last DAAM, and I want to kind of turn a little bit to your fandoms and Fish, and talk about this show or the upcoming tour. I don't know. Does anyone want to throw in a question? I asked these guys to think of questions of like Fish related talking points to keep it fun and
I got a question.
transition into DAAM.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Oh no.
What shows are you guys going to be at? What shows are any of you going to be at?
What about Joey? We'll go Joey.
Yeah.
I'll be at Alabama, Nashville, Alpharetta.
Cool, I'll see you there.
Yes. And then going to Tahoe, Dix, and then Chula, LA, and Vegas.
Wow.
I didn't know you were coming to Vegas.
It's awesome. Mad jealous, but also mad respect.
So what you got, Kate?
We just have dicks in Vegas.
Hey, that's
good too to go to, though. I mean, that's 7 shows and a Halloween and Dick's 10. So I mean, that's pretty baller.
It's good.
It'll be my first time to Vegas ever. And my first Vegas
so
day.
dangerous.
Wow. Oh boy. Yeah, it's like Vegas on Vegas, you know, like that's like, yeah, like Vegas on performance enhancing drugs is what Fish in Vegas is like. Yeah, like you think of all the like 24-hourness of it and just debauchery in some ways, right? And then you add the Fish world in the middle of it. It is unbelievable. So enjoy. It'd be incredible.
What about you, Claudia?
So I'm a little bit more limited this year than I have been in past years. First of all, I just bought a house this year, so
congratulations.
Trying to save up a little. I'm based in Chicago, so Deer Creek are my local shows, so pretty excited for those. And we will be, my partner and I will be in San Francisco, and then going along with the saving money theme, or I guess maybe not. I managed to snag us Mexico tickets, so.
Awesome.
That's saving money. That's saving money.
It's all inclusive, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a deal.
I will drink $5,000.
I want to bring my toddler there.
Hey, Claudia, have you been to Deer Creek before?
Yeah, so being a Chicago person, I think there's Deer Creek. I've probably missed maybe a half a dozen shows over the year, and then like Alpine, because I grew up in Northern Illinois. I think there's only been a couple, like 2 or 3 I've missed of since at least my first show in '95.
Awesome. I will tease. I don't want to give out details, and I kind of wish that these guys didn't. But Wook Plus as an organization, or as what are we? We're a group of Wooks that do shit. We'll be at some shows.
We're an artist collective. We're an artist collective.
If you see a giant flag that says Wook Plus or has Chewbacca on it or something, then come say hi. They'll say Wook
It'll
plus.
say W plus. It'll have W plus on it.
I have a talking point I think is interesting, but it might not work out well. But T and I yesterday came across. We were talking about the Grateful Dead and how is Dead & Co. a cover band or like Grateful Dead Light or what they qualify, and what that translated into the conversation. This was late, but who could you remove from Fish and still be Fish? Like, is there a band member that you could not include and still consider it Fish, or would it be like fishing and business? Because it's essentially Phil, right? Like, if you compare Fare Thee Well to Dead & Co., it's Phil that made the change.
You put in Tansky instead of Page, and you're good to go. Tansky knows all the songs already. He steps right in.
Right. That's like, Clemente. I mean, like the Dead always went through keyboardists anyway. So, and that was always still the Dead. But I think Trey's the one person. You lose Trey, and it's no longer Fish. Everyone else, I think, is
only one though. If you lose one,
right. If you lose two, you're done. Then it's a half.
No, then you're tab. If
yeah, then you're tab.
Right.
If it's Fish and Trey, it's tab.
Why do you guys bring this up? Why do you guys bring this up on live international television?
Well, honestly, because I'm a huge O'Teal / Allman Brothers fan, and Allman Brothers are the example that I can't wrap my head around, because it's like you say you need the four of them to be Fish, but that's actually pretty rare that the original four. Well, I mean Jeff, but like essentially the original four are still the band, right?
Right.
Like, how many iterations of Allman Brothers were there? And they're still Allman Brothers. I just wanted to know if you guys thought there was somebody you could take out and still consider it Fish.
Nope.
Do our guests even want to touch this? Or are they like...
Page isn't an original member. He isn't even an original member of the band.
I've heard arguments about Mike too, and here's the thing. Here's my feeling on it. They all are such incredibly original players. My feeling is if any of them were gone, it wouldn't be Fish, because none of them play a traditional role in a band, right? Mike is by no means a normal bass player. Page does not do what normal keyboardists do. In fact, he owns every keyboard that's ever been sold, and he plays them all. The drums, obviously, Fishman is beyond what anyone could ever, possibly do. His mind is completely... I don't even know what's going on in there. And Trey, obviously. So to me, you can't replace them because they don't. Yeah, there's two original players. Personally.
Chat, can you put your hand down? You're making me so anxious. I know you have a question, but I'm getting so anxious.
Okay, my answer to this question is the Giant Country Horns. Speaking of...
Giant Country Horns.
Motion that the Almonds have had many different players. I mean, you never know till it happens. Who's to say? I mean, like, I don't know. You can't say no, and then what if something happens and then there's another guy in the band and you're like, I'm never seeing him because it's not Fish. You'd go see him.
It comes down to who owns the name. If Fishman owns the name, then it's going to be Fish.
I think it comes down to circumstance of departure.
Right.
Are you guys regretting coming on our show? I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, by the way,
I thought we were going to be talking about like legit important messaging, and we're arguing about Fish members dropping off. The answer was Page and Mike, by the way. You can't lose Fish and you can't lose Trey. You could replace either Page or Mike, but you can't replace both of them.
I feel like that was a llama question where it's like, oh, sorry, that was the wrong answer.
We should
That's not the answer we were looking for.
How many?
I will pivot and answer a question you had earlier. My favorite DAAM was the Gamehenge 94.
Nice.
So,
nice.
I loved seeing that early of Fish recorded like that, because most of the videos you see aren't that old. So it was kind of like this crazy time machine.
They're gonna look like little babies tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
What show is tonight?
It's 91 with the Giant Country Horns.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Who were the Giant Country Horns? Like, do you remember their names at all?
Carl Gearhart,
Carl Gearhart, Russell the Killer Remington, and Dave the Truth Grippo. Yeah,
nice.
I have a fun fact about Dave Grippo.
Ooh, fun fact. Llama fun fact.
Oh, Llama fun fact. Guess what band he was playing with last year for a gig?
Oh, we'll have to drink after you say it.
Goose, goose, goose,
Yep,
goose,
goose.
Goose was the correct answer.
I figure if you guys ask a question and it's not fish, it's either going to be radiators or goose, and either way, I have to drink. So
We're very limited in our scope here.
Well, again, if you have, and again, I know there's tough times for everyone. It's a crazy time, but if you've got an extra penny, it will go to something that will, and people who will do some incredible work with that penny. If you've got an opportunity to donate to PHRE, if anything, and it costs you absolutely nothing, go to our website, sign that commitment statement, right? That's an opportunity that, is we would love for you to do that. And man, that would mean the world too as well. So there's plenty of opportunities if you want to get involved and want to be a part of it. And our community has been so, speaking of DAAM and Dinner and a Movie, we were talking about it the other day about just how it's brought us all together. This community has been overwhelmingly amazing so far. So please keep it up, and just know it's going to the right place with folks doing incredible stuff. So, sorry, I don't know. I just had to throw that in there real quick.
You are a consummate professional, and I really appreciate you bringing us back and putting that in. No, I do.
Can I ask
yes,
a deep
Kev?
question? Can I ask a deeper question of Joey?
Oh boy, let's go.
Deep, heavy question.
What you were
talking about when you were talking about equity earlier, as opposed to equality, the first thing I thought of is the new Republican boogeyman, CRT. Is that basically, is it the same idea that these things are baked into a system that you can't escape of, that the Electoral College exists because they wanted to make Southern states happy? Kind of thing? Is that where you were going with it? I'm just trying to put it all together in my head.
CRJ,
Yeah.
Kevin?
Critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an example, of something that is happening now, I guess. Absolutely. Go ahead, Zoe. Sorry.
No, it's cool. I mean, it's all related. Absolutely. The historical oppression, the systemic inequity that we were talking about absolutely ties into that. The critical race theory debate is about whether or not we should even be educating people and discussing this in schools, including the actual American history, so.
Right, I hear you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, there's lots of stuff that I never learned in school that as an adult, my mind has been blown. I mean, I watched Ava DuVernay's 13th on Netflix, whenever it came out. And just that part about the fact that what is legal and who is a criminal is a product of society. It's not some sort of moral justification. You can make a law that makes anyone into a criminal. And once you've made them a criminal, by the U.S. Constitution, you can still legally make them a slave as punishment for that crime. So once you brand someone as a criminal, as a felon, you can take away their right to vote. You can take away their right to hold certain jobs, to have housing, their freedom. They have to check in with a parole officer every however often, no matter what. I just saw a story. Some woman was put back in prison because she didn't answer a call from her parole officer while she was in a computer literacy class trying to learn the skills that she needs to survive, because we don't teach those in prison, because prison isn't about rehabilitation at all. So once you start getting into it, it really unravels everything. It is in everything.
And I think from an education standpoint, here's what I'll tell you. Teachers are going to teach, and I promise you, a lot of folks are teaching a lot of things that maybe aren't always in the curriculum that we're given. And I think, and teachers want to do, they want to teach what's true and what's right, and so I hope that this kind of fad, like you said, this kind of boogeyman goes away very soon, because I think I've told this before, but my favorite teaching story is I once had a middle school kid come back and say, Mr. Campbell, I always remember you taught me that Christopher Columbus didn't discover shit. And that was my favorite. That was my favorite thing. Now that was his exact. I didn't teach it that exact way, but that's what he took from it, and I was pretty proud of that. To be quite honest.
That's awesome. Hey, I don't want to cut this short, but I know we have 8:00. I know Joey and some of the guests had to get out. You guys have a big night. I will be donating myself and encourage everybody to do the same. please, first of all, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. I'm honored. I really appreciate what all of you guys do.
Thank you.
And we'll probably hang out. People watching will probably hang out for a few more minutes, but I just wanted to do the formal thank you because I know that they had to run. So thank you guys.
You guys are the best, and I will see you in Nashville, Joey. I will find you.
If I see any of you online, I'm going to buy you a beer or whatever you're partaking.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much for coming.
Very nice.
Thank you guys.
See you soon.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Guys.
I can't figure out how to leave.
Donate
I feel like I've been saying that about Wook Plus since it started. It was like I put out a message. You guys are like, "Hey, let's do this," and I'm like, "I can't figure out how to leave.
How do I leave this place?
I've been stuck here." Holy shit, man! I fucking really dig what Fans for Racial Equity do, and you know, I was thinking this whole time. I mean, like not just tonight, but this whole episode. And once I found out that you guys, they were going to be the recipients of the water wheel stuff. Do you guys remember on our in between our second or third lot, we were just starting to get into a groove. We were all kind of getting to know each other. We were just getting used to, I mean, I hate to say used to, but like we were just finally starting to get our new routine post pandemic. And then with George Floyd and the riots, our entire world, everybody's world, like instantly overnight, it felt like it was like
we had Tom Marshall coming on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I pushed Tom Marshall back. That next week, I sent an email to Tom. I was like, Tom, I love you, but listen, man, I don't feel like talking to you right now. Like, I have questions. I am concerned. I'm confused. I'm emotional. We were like upset.
I know. I was a wreck. I went and found Travis and stabbed him 3 times, like with a knife.
I know, and you guys haven't been the same since. I wish you would just be like the old. No, but honestly, so and then we reached. The reason I bring this up is because we reached out to Malcolm, and he came on, and it kind of changed the feel of this whole thing for me a little bit. You know, like what we were doing. It kind of legitimized this for me, and I know a lot of people just watch this and they're like, "You guys are a bunch of dumb fucking wooks," and like. But for me, that was an episode that changed the game a little bit because Malcolm was like so fun, but also profound. It was the first time I realized that we could have fun with this and like, you know, switch the flip, but also learn some shit and have some cool people on.
And do some good in every way possible. Almost every single dinner in a movie has been, you know, someone involved, you know, where we could think about all the Mockingbird folks and all, you know, that have been on to. So I mean, again, is kudos to you fellas because it's incredible.
And you, Pam.
Well, thank
You've
you too.
been a
I
huge
appreciate
part of this.
Well, thank you, dude. But again, the idea, like you said, have fun, make that feeling of that we all missed more than anything, which not only is the music, but the community and the feeling of pre-show, hanging out with everybody, partying down. And so we were able to kind of do both. And like that, can you imagine? There's nothing better in that time. It's incredible.
I know. I appreciate the fuck out of you guys. I'm gonna go to Chad and Llama, so put your hands down because I have crazy anxiety. I'll go to you in a second, Llama. But right after Llama speaks, I want to just give people a warning. I think I want to use the last 10 minutes of our last damn lot to be a little nostalgic and self-serving and do an around the horn about your favorite moments of the lot. Because this has changed my life for better or worse. And fuck it, man. We don't get these opportunities at time. I mean, I know we literally just did this a week ago with Liv, but we're going to do it again with the lot.
Totally different show. Totally different show.
Oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, the lot and Wook plus Liv are 2 entirely different shows. They're not even the same.
Everybody knows that.
Different stages, different everything.
At Studio A and Studio B. We're in Studio B.
Wait, guys. I got to let Llama get his question in because I promised him I would.
I just wanted to thank the fans for watching before we go on our self-serving me trips. I think I really want to thank all the fans out there for watching and sticking with us for over a year now.
Over a year, holy shit!
Yeah.
No, you make me so much better. All of you guys. That's basically what this was like, I'm an asshole and I need to be better. So I found people that are way better than I am. Smarter, more talented, more caring, and better spoken. And you guys just make this shit elevated. I love it.
You know,
You
it's
guys-
Wook Plus, right? Like it's not Famer Plus, Chat Trav Plus, Great Went Plus, Llama
I'm not
Plus,
the only
Chad
Wook.
Plus. I know, buddy, but
It
you
was
are.
Llama Plus for the first couple weeks.
Oh,
I've always been Plus myself.
Dude,
so.
we should make that the off-season segment where we change all of our branding to Llama Plus
Llama
during the
Plus.
off-season.
No.
And it's
Bring
just
back LST.
crazy like
LST.
LST.
Yes.
All right,
Well, I was the
who's
only one
up
that's
first?
taking vacation seriously. He's like, wait, I thought we were done with everything.
I was like, we're
Oh,
taking
I-
a break, and then
I
we
know,
had
I've
a
been working
meeting.
with
2
it
days
for
later.
a week.
Whoops,
I've
don't
been
sleep.
working season 2.
Uh-huh.
Should I touch on any of? Yeah, maybe after we do Round the Horn, I'll tease some of the shit we have coming up, because there's been some earnest inquiries as to what the future of Wook Plus is. Some people think we're done. Other people assume that we'll never go away.
It's
So I'll
just
touch on
beginning.
that.
I think the latter's true. We aren't going anywhere.
We are like the worst STD you'll ever get at a circle jerk.
Genital warts. We're the genital warts of YouTube shows.
All right. Who wants to
For
go first?
half a
around the
second, I
horn?
thought that was a fish that Travis was using.
I think Bam's hot dog wants to go next.
He does.
What is the hot dog?
I've fallen out because of what Tim just said was too much. That Wook Plus is like the worst STD that you can't get rid of or something like. I mean, again, how am I supposed to follow that? I can't talk after that. I'm gonna let the hot dog talk.
We should invite Danielle to join Wook Plus. She's been phenomenal.
Queen.
I know.
Absolute. Plus, I'm getting tired of the same group. I want to talk to.
I mean, aren't we hiring editors?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think I'll start because I think otherwise we won't focus. I think Tom was the go-to moment for me, and it's obvious, but like what's weird is it started off as obvious as like that was the biggest name, but now it's not just that, because we've had big names, right? Like we've had Ben Atkin, the drummer of Goose. We had Oteil Burbridge, the bass player of both the Allman Brothers and Dead & Co., right? Like we've had big names on the show, like movie directors, writers, lawyers, CNN personalities, Fox contributors, who was actually one of the more
Horatio
liberal
Sands.
guests we had. We had Horatio Sands. So like, but out of all of that,
Ted Piper.
Tom
I'm
was
excited.
both the most interesting and the most emotional episode I thought we had, and I really loved having him on. And the fact that I could message him and be like, hey, we have this Jam Band Illuminati bit. Can you do a voiceover for us? And 3 minutes later, he sends us a recording. It's like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
He's a good guy.
And then Kev talking and interrupting Tom when he
I
was,
knew that was fucking
acknowledging my baby girl. That was
I knew that was
awesome.
coming. If you didn't see that, you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. Who else wants to go now? I'm sick of talking.
Around the horn. Travis next.
He's muted. Good for him.
Fuckers. I love you guys.
What was the question?
Like a memory or a
What's
moment
your favorite
on the
moment?
lot.
Oh, my favorite memory.
Memories.
I don't know. You know, that's a tough one. We've done so much. I really don't know. I mean, there's
This
so
is
many
the
good ones. Of course-
self-serving circle
of
jerk
course-
part of the show.
right? You, of course, took Tom, which is the highlight I think everybody was thinking of. Oteil was fantastic, which I think was.
Oh, I
fun to
did
get to
take the
talk to
two
him.
low-hanging fruit and totally fucked
Yeah,
you guys.
I know. But I also enjoyed, our Peyton Manning talks. We've had so many good guests on that I've been
Oh, that time Peyton Manning was on. I won't tell you guys what episode it was, but go back and rewatch them all and find the time we talked about Peyton.
Well, remember that he was on, what was it? Chris Weaver was on this, and then he was on Live. So,
On Live,
there's a
yeah.
lot of cross sections and a lot of like going back and forth. But the thing about the lot was it was always much more of such an easy, shit show kind of feel where like we could just get buzzed and have fun, and like there wasn't a lot, there was no production
Other than all the
value.
production, you
Yeah,
and
no
I would be
production, other than the
fucking.
intros. I mean, remember when doing the intros was the hardest thing we were doing, and like, oh my god, how are we gonna get this intro done by the time the show starts?
Yeah, man.
So I miss those days. I miss the whole easiness of the lot, and then when we decided to shorten it has been nice too. Not
Well, you're a West
having it
Coast.
4 hours during
I
the
was gonna
day.
be fucked up this whole time anyway, but I
But
hear
you
it.
know, and I know you talked about the first episode, but I don't know. I go back to that first episode, as embarrassing as it was and everything. That was kind of the one that kicked it all off. You know, that was a moment. So I want to always have a special.
We
place
had
for
the
it.
best. After that, we got off that and stopped going live. And Tim's like, "You wanted to have a call," and we spent the next hour and a half talking after that lot. I don't think any of us even had the fish thing one. And we were all, it was a love fest. It was like, that was the greatest thing ever.
Kev, since you're talking anyway, what was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was always when it was just the 5 or 6 of us after Matt left, and it was just the 5 of us, because it felt just like very real. It was just people hanging out, as dumb as it was, the fucking left turns it took and all over the place. It made me, get in touch with who I was 20 years ago. So
It's weird how different life felt before and after it, right? Like, I know that sounds super dramatic, but at least for us, maybe not for everybody watching, but for us, it was a major time commitment. And like, this wasn't like, hey, let's hang out for like 10 minutes a week. This is like, let's produce the shit out of like a bunch of shit. Like, do shit we have no business trying to do, by the way.
It was also a major shift from what we originally were getting into. Like, it was going to be a lot more.
It was going to be Brad and Chad.
And shows. And yeah, like little things that we were doing around it. Like, and then, of course, the world went to shit, and this is kind of where we ended up. But in a way, it was good because we ended up doing this, and it gave us sort of a way to like meet a lot more like get to know people and like create this whole environment and get into this world, which we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise, and just kind of been struggling. So, I mean, in that respect, it's really talk about making lemonade out of lemons. I feel like we made some really quality juice here.
Somebody in our group that's not on camera is mistaken our call-in line from Liv with the call-in line for Lot. Should I take the call or not?
We don't have a phone on the lot.
We don't have a phone on the lot.
No, I'll take it. I'm curious. I'm curious.
We
All
have
right.
reception this time.
Oh, hey there. This is Josh Frost from Oshkosh, Hey,
How
there,
did you get the lot number?
Yeah.
Oh, I just
The crossover event, huh?
I'm an expert in the. Here's what I'm saying though, is that I've appreciated you guys over the last year with the lot and the Wook Plus show there, hey, and you guys have been like, oh yeah.
So I couldn't take it anymore. I'm sorry, but I will say it brings up the point of like, hey man, do you guys plan this? Like, do you have a set list for your show? No, Chad just disappears. Josh just gets the message somehow. It just happens. I don't know.
Same vibe as the band. It's just all improvised up here.
And it just like the band, the first time we played, it sucked really bad, and then it got pretty good.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Matt? You were like a candle that just burned so brightly and then was gone with us. But what was your memory from the time you were with us?
Hey.
All right, Matt. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. For me, and I think all the points you guys brought up are incredible, and I think the community is a key part of it, right? Like, think of the lifelong friends, and the piece of it is like, it's not just you 5, like there are so many people that we've connected with and have been a part of. But as far as my favorite episode and favorite moment, and this is going to surprise you guys, but it has to be this right here.
He had the prop ready and everything. Fuck you.
Gumbo for life.
That's fam though. He always
And I think I
has the
jacked
prop
up.
ready.
And can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Because I messed up my mic a little bit. But this is a really long story that these guys all know. And it taught me a lot in a lot of ways. And they pulled me through it. And honestly, like, I think about it all the time. don't gumbo yourself. Let yourself have fun and enjoy it. And everybody, and Trav got me this shirt, and so I'll never forget it. And so that's like my favorite moment. Yes.
I'm going to say really quickly, inappropriately in front of national television, but you are, fam, I'm talking to fam right now, one of my valued friendships. Not just an acquaintance, not just a friend, but somebody that I actually value having in my life. And we had some hard times right in the middle there. The tensions were raised. And I don't even want to get back into that. What I want to say is, and I don't even remember who reached out to who, but the moments that we started working together and talking together and communicating again lifted a weight off of my shoulders that I didn't even know was there. And I just appreciate having you in my life. And I'm super glad that we are doing this still.
Tim, that means everything, man. And I couldn't tell you that.
I don't know if that was eloquent or just terrible because the switch was flipped a long time ago.
It is perfect, buddy. I love you. I love you guys.
What your favorite episodes were. I think the thing is that what's to come is what I'm really looking forward to is getting to see the LA show with fam and out here, and now getting to see the people being here at the forum show. We get to meet all them and hang out. Kev's coming out, like Dick's obviously.
Meeting you guys is gonna be fucking incredible. Like literally you five, but also like Tom and Chris and Danielle and Harley and all these people that are like in our lives, and Missy and Baker and Sean and Skoy and all these people that are like part of. Oh my God! Now I started naming so many people, and I know I'm not naming a bunch of people. And they're like, "Why the fuck did you name me?" And I'm sorry.
All 64 people who were on the lot. All 64 people who were on the lot. We cannot wait to meet you.
Yes.
I mean, and I don't want to jump the shark and get ahead of the gun here, ahead of you, Tim. But for everybody that is going to Dick's and stuff, it's going to be a big.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Wait, tell us more about Dick's.
Oh man!
Did we have a crossover glitch?
We did. Speaking of
wait, when do we have to get out of here by?
Llama, how about that simple?
10 minutes.
Okay, Llama, what was your best moment?
Probably when you hired that baseball dude on Cameo to yell at us for playing with baseball cards.
Bobby Valentine, one of the greatest managers of all time.
I forgot which one you picked. Yeah, just that dude, Everybody's equal in my book.
I know. I love how we didn't say Bobby Valentine or who's the guy that wished Kev a happy birthday?
Eddie Spaghetti.
Eddie Spaghetti. Oh wait, that's a different show.
That's the wrong show.
I swear they're different shows. I swear they are different shows.
Didn't you get Rob Durhack from Mo?
Yes.
Hollered at y'all. I remember that.
I love Mo. Fuck, I love
Who doesn't
Mo.
love Mo? If you don't love Mo.
Chad, you got a best memory of the lot?
Yeah, my favorite moment of I'm sorry, I was trying to get in there, but then Josh interrupted.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Yeah. My favorite moment from the lot was definitely I'm gonna echo this. It was O'Teal and Chuck. Getting Chuck to meet O'Teal on a Zoom during a pandemic. Chuck loves O'Teal, and they respect each other. So
yeah,
Chuck
that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's such a layered show because even Mike Fanoia was an incredible guest, right? On a normal episode, he would have been an all-star A-list guest, right? Producer of Practical.
And he was.
No, and he was, but he was on a ticket with O'Teal and Chuck. That's a tough ticket, right? And that's kind of crazy where we started, just a bunch of wooks fucking around, and we had O'Teal and Mike Fanoia and Chuck on an episode. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
By the way, I love that show, Chuck. I fucking love that show.
Mm-hmm.
What show?
Sorry, I don't know. Tangent. All right, I'm gonna. Oh, did somebody want to interrupt? No, am I hearing things? All right, I'm gonna tease a couple of things that we may or may not live up to.
Are you teasing Benji?
No, we're doing it all. We're doing it.
I've been teaching Benji for a year.
Keep teasing it.
Gonna be
We
dope.
can also tease Brad and Chad and the Makitas.
Oh,
They're never
dude.
coming.
The Makitas.
Well, that's in the coming never section.
I will say we are in full production on a new show with Benji Eisen with,
gonna be good.
and all I'll say is it has to deal with the Grateful Dead. I won't give it more than that, but we were in full production, and T and I had a production meeting yesterday, and we were editing and looking at some of the footage, and it's fucking so good. Like, this is gonna elevate our channel and what we do to a whole different level.
I got very excited. It's cool. It's gonna
Late
be fun.
July, I think we're looking at a premiere of this Benji Eisen Grateful Dead show, but it is going to be fucking really good. He was a great guest, and the sad story was amazing. That's right.
Yeah.
We also, this
Words
is
of truth.
probably the biggest announcement of the night. 1 Minute Fish 3 is coming back to Wook Plus, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
Class is back in session,
Damn
and
it,
Mr. Fammer Time is gonna lead that class.
Oh my god! I can't
Later
believe
in
that.
July, we will have the return of 1 Minute Fish 3.
My teacher retirement ran out, so I got to come back and
Yeah, man. Oh my god. That was the show that really made me think we could actually do this. Before that, it was all in the celestial ether of concept, right? It was all very academic and planning. And then I got on the phone with you. I was going to a bar and I was like, what was the first 1 Minute Fish story? I remember there was like a David Hasselhoff joke or something, or it was like Amy's Farm.
It was Amy's Farm. It was the hamster. Oh, I don't even want to bring it up. It was the gerbil, the Richard Gere gerbil story.
Richard Gere,
he brings up in the You Enjoy Myself, he brings up Richard Gere gerbils. Yeah, and can you imagine?
That conversation you and I had and that initial voiceover you did was when I was like, holy shit, we're gonna try this. Like, this is happening.
But that was the best part. But this is gonna be amazing. Don't do the Richard Gere gerbil thing. But
was that my note?
Awesome.
That was my note.
Pretty much was like, yeah. I love everything you're doing.
What was the first note given in Wook Plus? Don't do the gerbil thing.
Yeah, thumbs down.
Also, since we got Grateful Dead, we got the return of 1 Minute Fish 3. I'm gonna give some more teasers here. I feel like I'm at one of those Comic-Con things, like Kevin Feige, like coming on Wook Plus. The Lot is going to return on the Lot, so pay close attention. We'll be announcing that soon. We will be on lots. It may or may not be Dick's also, as my guys revealed. But
spoiler alert, it'll be big,
huge, enormous.
The third annual. I feel like once you get the third, that's when you could consider yourself like a legitimate organization. But the third annual Wookiee Awards are coming up mid-September. I think September 15th.
Get your votes in now.
The lobbying should start right away because it's going to be heated this year. Who will be Wook of the Year? Who will win the Lifetime Achievement Award?
Me.
I don't know.
Well, Missy, if you like comic books, we also have a show that might interest you.
Thank you, Kevin. Panels and Frames will be returning soon. That's for all you Marvel DC nerds out there. That it has nothing to do with fish, so I don't know why it's on the channel, except that we're all nerds. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess the only other thing to announce maybe is the premiere of Wook Plus Season 2. 2.0, as Fam likes to say.
Yes.
It's going to be September 22nd. So we will be back with a full season through the fall. All right, I'm done.
And that
donate to mockingbird.org, you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
No,
for
not
watching.
Mockingbird. Waterwheel. Free.
Waterwheel.
Damn it.
It's all right.
I mean, wait, no. Next week, donate to Mockingbird. I don't want to say don't donate to Mockingbird, but this week, donate to Free.
Free and Waterwheel, that's right. And we appreciate y'all in so ways. Thank you for having me, and I know Free appreciates it as well. So
Oh my god, I can't believe. Oh my, I should just go because that was a really good ending, but we're done with a lot.
No, we're not done.
Oh, I'm so emotional. I don't know how to handle this, guys.
I love you guys.
Doing it this way. We'll still be doing it. It's not over.
Do you want to
No
watch
good
the
thing
clip?
dies.
You want to watch
Yeah,
the
let's
clip
watch
from the
the
first
clip.
lot to see how far we've come? That's a good way to get out of here.
Yes, it is.
All right, I love you guys.
I need to switch accounts real quick.
All right, go. Bye. We'll wait.
No, we're live.
Oh shit, we're live.
You can switch accounts.
Without
You
a
know,
net.
my shit's gonna freeze up at some point. So
That's nonsense. Oh, I gotta let Matt in.
Fucking.
Just so you know, I'm drinking Manhattans, but because we're on lot, I'm drinking them out of a Brooklyn coffee cup.
Hey, for the lot, I went red Solo cup. So.
Is that in memory of the Arkansas show?
That Arkansas show that's never gonna happen.